Good morning, boys and girls. How are you doing today? I hope you all are staying safe at home. This video is a re-recording of our very first video in computer science. The reason we're doing this is because many complained of the inability to make out the text in the video. So I've made some adjustments to that effect. A quick review of some of the things we did talk about in the last class. You see, the whole thing you see right now on your screen, I'm gonna have to remove this, is referred to as your desktop. Okay, there are things we find on our desktop. These little pictures over here, they're referred to as icons. Okay, now these icons can be of three main types. We have files. Let me set this to disable auto arrange. Now we have files, we have shortcuts, we have folders. All right, so this is a file, this is a file as well, this is a file as well. Okay, so the rest of this, you see here, this is a file as well. But all of these ones you see here are shortcuts. What's the difference? See, you see this little curved arrow at the bottom left corner tells you these are shortcuts. These are not the real files, these are shortcuts. Okay, so these are files, these are shortcuts, and these yellow colored boxes over here are referred to as folders. Are referred to as what? Folders. Okay, so these are folders. So we have folders, files, and then shortcuts. Okay, hope that makes it clear for you, boys and girls. All right, so we'll set all of these back real quick. All right, I also did get to share with us in that video how we can download Python 3.8. Okay, so I'll have to go over that again in this very video. All right, so I'm launching my browser Chrome, and then all right, I'm gonna head over to python.org. Of this python.org. All right, so this is Python's website. All right, once you find yourself here, if you hover over about, you find a whole lot of stuff here about the Python program. Then you head over to downloads. You have all releases. We have source code, Windows, Mac OS X, other platforms, license, alternative implementations. And because I'm on a Windows operating system, it says download for Windows here. This is the latest release. Okay, this should be ideal for you depending on the operating system you're running on your laptop or desktop, whichever one it may be. If however you are unable to have access to a laptop, you can easily do this with your phone. Simply download and install the app PyDroid. It's called PyDroid. PyDroid 3. Okay, if you can find that app and install it in your phone, it's a lot similar to Python. Let me show you what the icon looks like. It looks like this. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you see it. So if you can download it and install in your tablet or mobile phone, you can still code the way we do on a system. Okay, so now if you're here, we go to downloads and click Python 3.8.3. all right, if that does not work for you or is not okay by your system, then you select the one that suits you. Say for Windows, you can choose older versions depending on the version of system you are using. Okay, all right, so we would let's see, downloads Python 3.8.3. so it's going to download right here. All right, I've downloaded this before, so I will just show you how to install this very program, Python. Okay, so I head over to my downloads here, and here you have the Python 3.8.2. all right, so you just simply right click on this and say open or run as administrator. Okay, now when you do that, you follow the instructions that come up positively. You should be able to install Python on your own system and be able to join us in this programming class. I do have it already on this system, so I have these options of modify, repair, uninstall, and the rest of them. So we're just going to cancel this because my Python program is a-okay, so no need to do that. All right, now the very next thing I'm going to do is find a way to access my Python program editor. So if you have installed Python on your system, you will not see it on your desktop. All right, so you want to head over here and click on the Windows button. That's a virtual button anyway, and head over here. For you, you should be seeing newly installed or newly added, something like that, and then you select idle, IDLE Python 3.8. all right, that stands for Independent Development Environment, IDLE, development, DL, development. So Independent Development Environment, idle, then Python 3.8. so if you do that, click that, it will start up the shell for you to work with. Okay, now my own is a little bit different in looks from what your own should be. That's because I have tweaked it a little bit to be able to, come out real nice and easy for you to read. If you would like to do the same thing, what I did was to click on Options, Configure IDLE, and then I selected size here. I think the size was previously at 10 or 11. Changed it to 22, and then clicked OK, apply. But then I also did select the bold so that it comes out real nice. Okay, and then you click OK. So that's basically how you set up Python on your computer system. Now to the deal of the day. Python programming. Programming is simply the act of writing instructions, writing executable instructions for the computer to process on a later day or at a time. Okay, so basically what you'll be doing is to write instructions that the computer can understand and also be able to do what? Carry out. All right, we refer to all that as processing. So if it can understand what you have written and be able to carry out the instructions that you've written, then it's been able to process your instructions. Okay, now Python as well is a programming language, and so we'll get used to the syntax of this language as we continue to work in with this program. When we say syntax, we mean the way the words are structured, the way the sentences are structured, just like we have grammar in our different languages. Like in English language, we have English grammar, we have Igbo grammar, we also have Python grammar per se. So the syntax or the ways that we write sentences in Python are what we refer to, and we'll talk about what? Syntax. S-Y-N-T-A-X. S-Y-N-T-A-X. All right? Okay, that should be that. Now, boys and girls, Python is pretty easy, very easy to work with, very easy to work with. It makes writing instructions a whole lot easier for you. You see, the Python shell we're working with right now is basically an interpreter. Now I'll tell you more about that. Computer program processors come in varied forms. All right, we have assemblers, we have interpreters, we have compilers, and a lot more that are out there. But basically, we'll look at the compilers and the interpreters. Interpreters are programs that are able to translate, that are able to do what? Translate your lines of code one line at a time. All right, interpreters are program editors that are able to do what? Or program translators that are able to translate your lines of code one line at a time. Hope it makes sense. While compilers do not translate one line at a time, they wait and accept the bulk of your lines of code. Everything you have to write, you write it all and parse to them, and then they do what? Translate. Hope it makes sense. All right, so let's jump right in and see one or two things that Python can really do. So if I were to write a simple mathematical statement like this, 2 plus 3, and press enter, you find that Python will give us the value, which is what? 5. So it has processed that one quickly, immediately. So this also tells you that this particular Python program we're working with is what? An interpreter. Remember, it has just processed this line quickly and given us a result. It didn't wait, say, okay, let this man finish and then I can process. It has just processed. Once you're done with the first line or with any line and you hit enter, it processes that line. Okay, remember that. It is called what? An interpreter. If you come across one that is able to do what? Wait until you are done and then process everything, you refer to that as a compiler. As a what? Compiler. The PyDroid app I mentioned earlier is both an interpreter and a compiler. All right, I'll make a little video on how to use the PyDroid app and share with you guys soon. Okay, all right, so let's look at some more math operators. All right, math operators in Python. Okay, now let's say I have we've listened the addition. There's 2 plus 3, pretty simple, easy to grab. And when we come to subtraction, we have 4 minus 2, and then when you press enter, you get 2. You see, pretty easy. Once more, I hope this whole thing comes easy to see. Okay, so let's have another one. For multiplication and division, they take a slightly different look. For multiplication, as far as computer programming is concerned, we usually use the asterisk. The asterisk is found above number 8. So if I were to write something like this, 7 shift 8, that will give me the asterisk. And then I write another 8, and that will give me 7 times 8, which is what? 56. Hope it makes sense. All right. And then if I were to have something like 56 divided by, now for the division you use a backslash. All right, the backslash 7, and that will give us what? 8. Now you can see the computer is showing us 8.0. all right, 8.0 still has the same value as what? 8. Okay, all right, so these are the 4 basic math operators and how we can use them. All right, so 2 plus 3, 4 minus 2, 7 asterisk 8 for 7 times 8, and 56 backslash 7 for 56 divided by 7. All right, so that's that. Now let's try some more math operations. So let's say I have 9 9 minus 7 plus 6. What do you think the answer will be? 9 minus 7 is 2, 2 plus 6 is 8. So it gives you 8. Pretty good. And let's see, 8 times 5 minus 3. What do you think the answer will be? Sorry, minus 3. Now, what do you think the answer will be? If you guessed 5 minus 3, 2 times 8, 16, then you are wrong. Reason being, the computer will process the multiplication first before the subtraction. Multiplication and division will be processed first before addition and subtraction. So 8 times 5 is 40. 40 minus 3 is what? 37. 37. Hope it makes sense. All right. Let's see some more. Now, five plus 67 minus 78 times 4. As quickly as that. So here it says 5 plus 67 minus 78 times 4. So 4 times negative 78 will give us negative 312. So negative 312 plus 67 plus 5. Now 67 plus 5 will give us 72. So negative 312 plus 72 will give us negative 240. You see, computer is still able to process sums, differences, quotients, and products easily. I hope this is coming so easy for you guys. I hope you all understand this now. We can add, subtract, multiply, and divide using what? Python programming as well. And we can also deploy this for more advanced uses as time will come. Okay? Hope that makes sense. All right. Now let's try something funny. Let's say we want to make a little, though it's not part of this class, but I just want to share something with you. Something that makes it a little interesting. See, if I say dad is 22 and I press enter, the Python does nothing. All right, the program does nothing. What it is trying to say is, okay, you didn't tell me to do anything. You only said I should take notes, and I have taken notes. That dad is equal to 22. So whenever I call up dad, I get what? 22. Hope it makes sense. So if I say daddy is equal to 72, then whenever I call up daddy, I get what? 72. Is it making sense? Then if I try something like this, mom is equal to dad plus daddy plus daddy. What do you think the answer will be? If I should call up mom now, that would be 72 plus 22 to give you 94. Now this is why. When I told Python that dad is 22, what it did was to store the number 22 inside dad, so that whenever I call up dad, it gives me the number inside dad, and that is what? 22. And then when I say daddy is 72, what it does is store the number 72 inside daddy, and then once I say give me daddy, it says 72. Then if I tell the computer that mom is dad plus daddy, what does it do? It sums up dad, the value of dad, and the value of daddy to give you 22 plus 72 to give you what? 94. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? All right. So we can still add, subtract, multiply, and divide. All right. Using these words that hold values instead of the numbers themselves. This is just a sneak peek into a future lesson, these words are referred to as variables. They're referred to as what? Variables. Variables. Okay, so variables are able to hold values. Okay, does it make sense? All right. So I'm not going to press enter now. It will give me error because I didn't define that. For instance, Gino, and I just press enter. You get an error because Gino has not been defined as far as the computer is concerned. You've not told the computer this is the value of Gino. So when you press enter on that, it gives you what? Error. All right. Okay. Now, let's see if we can perform multiplication, division, and even subtraction on these variables. Let's see. Mom minus daddy. Sorry. Mom minus daddy should give us what? 22. Now, why is that so? Mom minus daddy gives us 22. What is mom? Mom is 94. What is daddy? Daddy is 72. Now, if you remember, dad plus daddy is mom. Then mom minus daddy should give us dad. And that is what? 22. Does it make sense? Hope it makes sense. All right, look at this one. Mom times dad. All right, mom times dad. That's going to give you 2068. 2000 and what? 68. Okay, let me move this to the top. So mom times dad will give us 2068. Look at this other one. Mom divided by dad. What does it give us? 4.27272727, like that. All right, so that is mom divided by that, and that is 94 divided by 22, right? 94 divided by what? 22. Does it make sense, boys and girls? All right, does it make sense? I hope it all makes sense for you. I hope this whole thing is pretty easy for you to do. All right, so I would love you all to try some little statements, some simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on your own. All right, and then share with me as part of your assignments. All right, see you soon in our next video. All right, stay safe and bye-bye. Bye.